Namaste and welcome to Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. This is Yamajit, and thank you so very much for joining me tonight for Navaratri Day 5. Tonight we're going to be honoring the Maha video goddess Bhairavi, and in addition, one of her forms, Ma Chamunda. So the high point of our puja this evening will be that while you're meditating, I'm going to recite the 108 names of Ma Chamunda, both in Sanskrit and in English. So again, welcome and namaste, including to Kim, who's joining right now, and anyone else who's tuning in at the moment. And if you are, please feel free to say namaste, like Bryce is right now, using the chat function on your screen. So these last few days, I've been talking about how when we are going through a difficult time, Kali is the first energy to manifest and give help. Then Tara refines the process. She personifies the particular path that we might follow in order to bring balance back into our lives. Tripura Sundari, through that sadhana, through that work, through whatever that path is, we begin to see and perceive the divine, but only really on an external level. So with Bhuvaneshvari, she personifies that moment when we suddenly discover that divine presence within ourselves. And the net result of that is transformation, the death of the old self and the creation of the new. And that is Ma Bhairavi. So I'm going to go back to the book on the Mahavidyas that I'm currently writing and read you a short section on Ma Bhairavi. Here we go. So, Bhairavi means the awe-inspiring one. She is also the consort of Lord Bhairava, also known as Bhairab, the wrathful, destructive aspect of Lord Shiva. Bhairavi is the very embodiment of destruction and decay. Hence, she is also termed as the goddess of decay. The principle of Bhairavi's role is that everything gets created, needs to be destroyed, in order for the cycle of life to continue. As Sudashi is called Tripura Sundari, so Bhairavi is also known as Tripura Bhairavi, governing those same principles of will, knowledge, and action. Goddess Bhairavi is almost indistinguishable from the form of Kali. She is pictured dwelling on the cremation ground. Her body is naked, sometimes smeared with ash like a sadhu. Her hair is disheveled and loose. She wears snakes for jewelry, a necklace of skulls, and her body has eyes located all over it. The message of this conveys the fact that we cannot hide from death and life changes no matter how hard we might try. She has 4 arms, 2 holding the mudras of dispelling fear and giving boons, and the other 2 holding a sword and a Kapala skull cup filled with blood. Bhairavi is also referred to as Shubhamkari, who is benevolent to good people and punitive to those who are evil. Legend has it when Bhairavi entered a battlefield in a war against our inner demons, her frightening appearance made those demon armies panic and scatter. In addition to her close resemblance to Kali, especially the skeletal Chamunda, who I mentioned earlier, Bhairavi is also identified with Durga in her most wrathful form. The name Chamunda Bhairavi is an epithet for both Kali and Durga. In her violent form, she is sometimes shown sitting on a donkey, her body covered with a tiger skin and holding a skeleton. Her mouth is dripping with blood, and the asuras, that is, the demons, blood of the asuras. She presents the Abhaya Mudra, that's the gesture of dispelling fear, and Vada Mudra, the gesture of giving boons. In this form, she is known as Shitala and was called upon to combat smallpox outbreaks and childhood diseases like measles nowadays. In the same form, she is also called Palden Lamo, a form of Kali worshipped by Tibetan Buddhists. So here is a Tanka image. Let's see if I can get that into a little bit more light, of Palden Lamo, also known as the goddess Shitala. Also, something else I'll show you. I have an old Nepali mantra book made of bark paper. And here is Lord Bhairab and Ma Bhairavi illustrated on this old manuscript. And we can see again the amalgamation of Hinduism and Tibetan Buddhism in Nepali spirituality. And here's this double Vajra in the very center of the image. Anyway, back to the text. As mentioned previously, the name Bhairavi itself implies terror or something awe-inspiring. Hence, the one who attains the status of Bhairavi is beyond the fear of death, which is supposedly the greatest fear faced by all living beings. Bhairavi is also a title given to a female tantric guru, such as the one that Paramahamsa Ramakrishna was taught by. Astrologically, Ma Bhairavi channels the energies of all 9 planets. Ma Bhairavi's, just a second, my screen jumped. Here we go. Ma Bhairavi thus dwells in the cremation ground, sometimes with her male consort, Lord Bhairava, sharing the knowledge with those who are willing to let go of their fears, as in this modern painted image of Bhairavi and her devotee on a cremation ground. In spiritual evolution, Bhairavi is personal transformation. She is the dissolution of one's old self, followed by the birth of the new, which results from meditating on that divine presence within oneself. Jai Ma Bhairavi. Jai Ma Bhairavi. Jai Ma Bhairavi. So I invite you to make yourself comfortable. Find that comfortable seated position with straight back. Namaste to Mary, who just joined us a little while ago. And I invite you to breathe deeply and look upon your screen with a relaxed gaze. And then just let your eyes fall gently closed as you breathe. Breathing out the stresses and the tensions and the events of the day, the concerns of yesterday and tomorrow. bringing your awareness on the present moment, grounding, centering, and preparing for the act of devotion which we are about to share. With each breath, let yourself become more and more relaxed and more present-centered. And then focusing on your heart center. First, I invite you to silently connect with the divine within yourself. And then think about whatever personal issue you're working on during this Navaratri season. And know now that Ma Bhairavi is coming in to further refine whatever process you may be undergoing at this time. Ma Bhairavi's mantra is Hesraim, Heshklarim, Hesrao, kind of based on the same syllables for Tripura Sundari, which was Ain, Klim, Sao, for Bhairavi, Hesraim, Hesklarim, Hesrao. So these will be the three mantra sounds that we'll open our puja with. So I invite you to slowly bring the palms of your hands to your heart center. Deep inhale for Hesraim. Hesraim. Inhale, Hesklarim. Hesklarim. Inhale again, Hesrao. Hesrao. Inhale and exhale. Slowly opening your eyes and looking on your screen with a relaxed gaze. Om Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yashmare Pandarikaksham Sabhyabhyanta Sushi. Om Shuklam Bharadhanam Vishnum Sishivanam Shatubhijam Prasnavaranam Dayat Sava Vigno Pasantaye Jai Ganesha. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshvara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Guru Namah. Jai Guru. Trayambakam Yajamaye Sagandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukameva Bandhanan Mrityur Mukshyamamritan. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Jayanti Mangalakali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Shama Shiva Datri Svasvada namostute. Jayatvam Devi Chamunde. Jaya Bhutita Harini. Jaya Sarvagati Devi. Kalaratri namostute. Jema Chamunda Bhairavi. Hesraim. Heshklarim. Hesrao. 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 Heshraim. Heshklarim. Hesrao. Hesraim. Heshklarim. Hesrao. Hesraim. Heshklarim. Hesrao. Jema Bhairavi. Jema Bhairavi. Jema Bhairavi. So as I recite the stotram in both Sanskrit and English, you're invited to either close your eyes and breathe deeply and just let the sound guide your consciousness, or you can do this as a rite of tratika meditation and just look upon the altar with a relaxed gaze, especially this image of Ma Bhairavi. Breathe deeply, and again, just let the sights, in addition to the sounds, guide your awareness. Sri Chamundavari Asta Shatanamastotram. Sri Chamunda Mamaya Srimatsima Saneshvari. Sri Vidya Vedya Mahima Sri Chakra Puravashini. Chamunda, great enchantress, queen of the great throne, knowledge, celebrated greatness, who dwells in the Sri Chakra. Sri Kanta Dayata Gauri Grija Bhuvaneshvari. Ma Kali Ma Lakshmi Mavani Manonmani. Lover, shining one, mountain, all-encompassing goddess. Dark, great goddess of time, great goddess of wealth, granter of wishes, Sri Durga. Sasrasesa Samyukte Sasraka Mandita. Kajumbavasanopta Ratnakanchukadarani. Quantity of 1,000 festivals, quantity of 1,000 sensual pleasures, princess of safflowers, bearer of jewels. Ganesha Skanda Janani Yapa Kusamahasura. Omakatyayane Durga Mantrani Dandani Jaya. Gladness of Ganesha, to whom earthly demons pray. Parvati Devi, Durga, regal one, goddess of mantras, staff goddess, victory. Kala Ningula Nokotpananyan Nanda Shakrita Sachmarama Vanishveya Dikshana Sevita, who created from her fingernails the incarnations of Vishnu, she who is attended to by Lakshmi and Sarasvati. Indrakshi Baglabala Shakrishe Vijay Ambika Panchapeta Sanuruda Haran Kumkumapriya, beloved of Indra. Skullforce, goddess of the wheel, victorious mother, protector of the 5 elements, she who is worshipped with orange kumkum. Mabaladranlaya Mahisashura Madani, Madhu Kataba Samhadani Madhapunaika, supreme might, preserver, slayer of the buffalo demon, slayer of Madhu and Kataba, destroyer of the universe, sweetness of the Puranas, the epics. Kameshvari Yogani Drabhavani Chandika Sati Chakrurja Vadusha Siti Siti Antakarani. Pure Brahman, destiny, sleep, wife of Shiva, she who tears apart thoughts, daughter of Daksha, queen of yantras, controller of female elephants. Annapurna Jivala Jiva Kalaratri Svarupani Nishumba Shumba Madani Rakta Bija Nishudani. Beautiful Durga, flame goddess, night of time's destruction, slayer of Nisumba and Shumba, slayer of Rakta Bija. Brahmya Dimatakarupa Shubha Satchakra Devita Mula Praketa Puraya Parvati Parameshvari, she who is in the form of holiness, auspicious constellation, great divine wheel, first cause of the universe, daughter of the Himalayas, supreme sovereign. Bindu Pitakritavasya Chandra Madlamaiga Chidagnikanda Sambhuta Vinjachalani Vashani, to whom chaos is a jewel in her crown, she who dwells in the moon's disk, born in the fire pit of pure consciousness, dweller of the Vindhya mountains. Hayagriva Gastya Puja Soya Chandragna Lochana Jalandhara Sapithasta Shiva Dakshayanishvari, Durga related to Vishnu's fish incarnation. Sun, invincible fire, maintaining the chain of ocean life, bestower of all things auspicious, goddess of Dakinis. Navavarana Sampuja Navaksara Manostuta Navalavaya Drupadya Jvaladvatrim Judeoda, she who is praised in Varanasi, she who is praised by the lunar race, she who is focus of fire sacrifices, instrument of the 30-day fire ceremony. Kamasha Badamangalya Chandra Reka Vipudita Chara Chara Jagadrupa Nityakalina Parajita, auspicious power of love, path of the shining moon, ruler of the living and non-living, she who is forever moist, ever compassionate victor. Oidyana Pithanalaya Lalita Vishnu's Odari Damstrakadavadana Vajrasnari Vanivashani, dweller of the 6th chakra, Sodashi, Lakshmi, she who cuts apart deceit, day of Saturn, bearer of oblations to the gods. Sava Mangala Rupa Sachitananda Vigraha Astasha Supadasta Barinda Bhairavi Para, she who is in the form of auspiciousness, embodiment of pleasure, of existence, seat of suffering, formidable goddess, wife of Bhairava, transcended one. Rundamalala Satkanta Banda Sodavimadani Pundrek Chikundako Danda Pushpabanala Satkara. Prayer of a rosary of severed heads, instrument that destroys demons, bright fields of sugar cane. Shivaduti Vadamata Shankari Simavahana Chatasatyapad Chadra Yogini Gana Devita. She to whom Shiva is her messenger. Mother of the Vedas, giver of happiness, Sri Durga, adorned with 64 ceremonies, Yogini, who is worshipped by the sun. Navadurga Bhadrakali, Kadambhavana Vashini, Chandamunda Syasitri Majini Sudumai. Splendid Durga, auspicious Kali, surrounded by a celestial grove, slayer of passion and anger, excellent stream, empress, total purity. Sri Chakravarata Tanka, Sri Shela Brahma Ambika, Sri Rajajivadada, Sri Matripura Sundari. Enclosure of the Sri Chakra, mother of Brahma, queen who grants wishes, divine goddess of the three worlds. Shakambari Shanti Datri Shatanandri Shivapriya, Rakandavadana Ramya Ramaniya Varakrita. Sky goddess, bringer of peace, beloved of Shiva, with a delightful face like the full moon, lovely one, grain mistress. Srimad Chukmundika Devya, Nam Namastotram Shatam, Patan Bhaktyachayam Divim Sarvam Kamanava Punyat. Mother Goddess Chamunda's hymn of many names, recited lovingly in devotion by all the gods. Hesraim Eshklarim Esrao, 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 Hesraim Eshklarim Hesrao. I invite you now to take a deep and clearing breath. letting go of the meditation and bringing your awareness back to this time and this place. Oops. And then slowly bring the palms of your hands together at your heart center. Take a moment to thank the Divine Mother and her presence within, knowing that she is guiding you through these 9 days. Take a moment to then give gratitude to yourself for taking part in tonight's practice. And finally, namaste. Blessings always. Thank you so very much for joining me, and Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. So I think in the Stotram, you've certainly heard a lot of the different aspects of the Divine Mother that we've discussed so far. I want to refer to some of the artwork on the altar. So here's a modern painting of Ma Bhairavi. Let me see if I can focus that a little bit better. There we go. And you can see her ash-smeared skin, her nudity, her serpent bracelets and anklets, skull staff and sword, the blood-filled skull cup. Notice the crescent moon, which is one of Shiva's ornaments, is also in her hair. And notice the eyes on her as well. And then in the same design, here's a Bhairavi figurine, lost wax process in brass. And this is Ma Bhairavi from Nepal. And it's interesting that she has this triple braid on the back. Reminds me a lot of the 3 main energy channels, the nadis, and where they cross at the chakra points. And then I have a small resin statuette. And this is based on a bronze statue, which I actually got to see in the Indian National Museum, tail end of 2005. And more stylized Bhairavi form. We have the skull cup. She has a coil of rope. On the other side, she was holding an elephant goat and a trident. Those unfortunately broke off a few years ago when she got knocked off the shelf by one of my cats. And I hope you very much enjoyed this evening's puja and satsang and meditation. And I look forward to you joining me tomorrow for a very special ceremony. We're going to be honoring the goddess Chinnamasta, who is probably the origin of such Tibetan goddesses as Vajrayogini. And so I'm going to attempt to do a Cha practice, the same Cha practice I did earlier in the month, only it's going to be part of a Yoga Nidra meditation. And I think you will find this just an amazing experience. So 7 o'clock tomorrow on YouTube. Got a little bit of room in here too if you want to join in person. So again, I want to thank you so very much, especially Mary, Bryce, and Kim, and everybody logged in now, and anybody who will be listening to the recording later. Just have a wonderful night. Had to take it easy for a while before you resume your nightly activities. And just let the energies of this practice be with you tonight and in the days ahead. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Jai Ma, and good night.